From our studios here at Kokomeme in Accra, hello, good evening, and welcome to Joy News Prime. We are live on DSTV, Channel 421, GoTV 125, and around the world, we are on myjoyonline.com. I am Carlos Kaloni.
And I am Faustina Safo. Tonight, Accra High Court grants 50 million Ghana cedis bail to former GRA boss Amisha Owusu-Amwa and 4 others in the Ken Ofori-Atta case. We have details as the Office of the Special Prosecutor intensifies efforts to extradite the former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta.
Also, President John Dramani Mahama intervenes to save the Office of the Special Prosecutor from being scrapped, throwing a lifeline to the OSP in Ghana's anti-corruption efforts.
Also tonight, Bono East Regional Police Command restores calm in Kwame Danso after violent mob attack the district court and police headquarters. We're live in the community.
This is Joy News, independent, fearless, credible.
Please stay for details.
Let's begin from the courtroom because an Accra High Court has granted 50 million Ghana cedi bail each to 5 accused persons standing trial alongside former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta on charges including influencing the procurement process for unfair advantage, causing financial loss to the state, and using public office for profit. The ruling comes as the Office of the Special Prosecutor steps up processes to secure the extradition of Mr. Ofori-Atta to face trial. Fatal Baga was in court and has filed the following report.
Those granted bail are the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, and 8th accused persons, including former GRA bosses Emmanuel Kofi Enti and Amisha Owusu-Amwa, former Customs Division Director General Isaac Crensel, Evans Edusei, CEO of SML and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, the company at the center of the case. Apart from the 50 million Ghana cedis bail, which is to be justified with 2 sureties, the court also ordered them to surrender their travel documents and report to the OSP weekly. The presiding judge noted that their earlier compliance with the OSP bail term showed they were not flight risk, and because the determination was made late, the bail takes effect on Monday, December 15, 2025, and until then, they remain on their existing OSP bail conditions. Prosecutors say the accused took part in a scheme to unlawfully secure procurement contracts for Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, which led to more than 1.4 billion Ghana cedis in losses to the state, with a further $2.8 billion prevented through the interventions of petitioners and the OSP. For Joy News, Fatal Bayaga, Accra.
Well, away from that, the Bono East Regional Police Command says calm has been restored in Kwame Danso in the Senate West District of the Bono East region following a violent attack on the district court and police headquarters. About 100 irate youth stormed the court, vandalized property, and freed 2 accused persons standing trial, also assaulting complainant in the case. Let me take you to the area and speak to our correspondent Anas Sabit for more on this. Well, we do not have Anas Sabit, but let's speak to the DCE for the area, Kari Fusini. Grateful for your time. First of all, tell us how this whole thing came about.
Yeah, good evening. And thank you for having me. And the Senate West District yesterday, we did not report with you. In the morning around 10 o'clock, we received news that some youths has marched up at the station, and so police station, and were trying to storm the court to, take away two gentlemen that were standing trial. So quickly, I rushed there, but then by the time I got there, They had left the scene. We followed up to the Omahini's place and we talked with some of them and we discussed things. Later, the police divisional commander and his team also came. We met some of the groups and we talked to them. For us, we speak. Calm has returned to the community and people are going about with their normal daily activities.
Any arrests so far?
So far, no arrest has been made yet. No arrest has been made.
And where are the two people standing trial? Where are they now? Are they at large or the police have been able to apprehend them back?
For us to speak, they are at large. We are yet to lay hands on them, but we are trying to calm down the situation and at the appropriate time, I believe that we will be able to identify them.
What other measures are you putting in place to avert any recurrence of this particular situation?
Yes, we are taking a direct at next. We have also reached out to our regional minister on the issue. And as we speak this afternoon, I've had an engagement with the regional minister, and we are looking at how best at least we can put things together to make sure that the security is under control. So CAM has returned, and we are all liaising with the appropriate authorities to ensure that CAM and peace return to Pamela.
Thank you so much, Husseini, for speaking to us.
Mahama has stirred controversy as he officially steps in to halt moves to scrap the office of the special prosecutor. The president has written an urgent request to the majority leader, Mahama Yariga, asking him to withdraw a private member's bill seeking to repeal the OSP Act. The intervention comes at a time where anti-graft campaigners are pushing for that office to remain. Correspondent James Aveji has more in the following report.
The President John Dramani Mahama's request to Majority Leader Mahama Yariga and the Majority Whip Roxanne Nelson Dapamekpo to halt action on the private members' bill to scrap the OSP has received mixed reactions here in Parliament. The First Deputy Minority Whip Habibi Idrisu, for instance, believes that this is unconstitutional, as he says the move is an influence of the executive on the legislature.
When the majority chief whip and the majority leader file or intend to file a private member's bill, the president is telling them to reduce it. Why? Their oversight, their rule as members of parliament. Because of what? To withdraw. We have the official letter from the presidency to the members of parliament. But he has instructed that you should withdraw it, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the executive have no authority to dictate what happened in parliament, Mr. Speaker.
But some MPs on the majority side believe the president's request is in the right direction. A member of the Constitutional and Legal Committee, Honorable Kwame Jijoli Gakpe, as well as MP for Kwesi Mintim Fifi Bachman, said the two leaders must consider the president's request and take action on same.
I'm not going to speak for them. They are individuals on their the individual who are members of parliament in their own wisdom, and they will look at it. What if they are fine with it? That is it. If they are not fine with it, they want to go with it. But for individual, I think what the president is saying, there is some wisdom in what he's saying.
Did it officially come to Parliament yet? Do you have any idea whether that bill is ready?
Yes, so they have served notice that they are bringing bill. It's a notice, but we haven't seen the bill yet.
I believe that if we listen to the advice of the president, it would help.
On the EC's announcement of December 30 for rerun of the Pandai elections, the Kwesi Mintim MP, for instance, believes if the minority oppose the EC's decision, then they must take the right action in court to stay their hands.
As a lawyer, you know the machine, the whatever to trigger to stop the EC. You don't sit and shout over the roof that the EC is... no, you don't do that. You know the law. Use the law. The law provides an avenue.
Mentioned, is it an injunction?
I'm saying that they are lawyers. We all sat in the law school. We all learned procedure. They should use the law.
The House has also passed the Road Traffic Amendment Bill 2025, which has in effect legalized the use of motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, as well as other tricycles for commercial use. Reporting for Joy News, my name is James Savaji from Parliament House in Accra.
Let's now take you to Nairobi because the Land and Natural Resources Minister is urging countries to prioritize the protection of their water bodies and forests. Speaking at the 7th edition of the UN Environment Assembly in Nairobi, Mr. Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boa said Ghana has taken bold steps in response to citizens' concerns about environmental protection.
And we call for global compact for implementation, where commitments become projects and projects deliver real change. The time for declarations without delivery is over. Let the clarity of our rivers match the clarity of our resolve. Let the green of our forests reflect the prosperity we seek for our people. Ghana has shown that when leadership listens to science, change happens. Let UNIA 7 be remembered, not for the words, but for the systems we change. Let us live here with a path to advance together to protect the natural systems that protect all of us. Science spoke, the people spoke, leadership responded.
Away from that, a Chinese-owned warehouse in Emia and Kwanta in the Ashanti region has resumed manufacturing Changfan machines after the Environmental Protection Agency shut it down earlier this year. The facility was closed when officials discovered partially assembled Changfan components, metal molds, as well as welding stations linked to illegal mining. Let me take you now to the Ashanti region. For more on this, my colleague Nana Boachi Adam joins us live with more. And now you're on the ground. Tell us what exactly you saw.
Well, on the 5th of November last month, we realized that the Environmental Protection Agency was on an important tour in the Ashanti region to shut down various facilities that they suspect to be manufacturing or fabricating Changfan machines. This led to a major shutdown of a Chinese company in the Kwanta area in the Ashanti region. For close to 2 weeks, we're being told that the facility was being shut down and not operating. But to our surprise, and the checks that we embarked on yesterday, we realized that the manufacturing company has started its operations with workers still going about with their daily activities. The Chinese workers are in there, with the local workers also going about with their duties. We've done our checks with the regional EPA director, who tells us that confirmation must be done with the national authorities, as they are unaware of what is currently happening at the manufacturing company.
And how long will it take for them to confirm this so that they can halt it?
Well, for now, the director had indicated to me that what they would do and then send a report to the CEO is to verify whether or not the company, the manufacturing company, has come to seek clearance, which was an earlier directive given to them, and whether they are going to go ahead with the manufacturing of these Changfan machines or not. These are some of the details they'll be picking on ground when they get to this company, and then verification will be sent to Accra. And when that is done, within the shortest possible time, they are going to take action on that.
Thank you, Nana.
Well, away from that, Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak says Ghana currently has 449 conflict hotspots, a situation he describes as deeply worrying. During a courtesy call by the National Peace Council at the presidency, he noted that regions like Central and Ashanti record more hotspots, yet experience fewer conflicts, while some regions of the north face the opposite.
If you look at the hotspots that we have across the country, as of last month, Your Excellency, we have about 449 hotspots across the country. And the funny and interesting thing is that you see some of the hotspots much larger in some regions, but they don't have so much conflict as compared to others that have fewer. And I'll just give you a typical example, Your Excellency. Central region alone has about 88. Ashanti region has 68. But when you put the 5 regions in the north, the total they have is 120. And yet we were having more violent resistance in the 5 regions of the north than this region, because these regions of Ashanti and Central tend to resolve their conflicts more through the courts as compared to the 5 regions in the north, where sometimes the issues are resolved, the bullets away.
Still on chieftaincy disputes, President Mahama has expressed concern over the rising chieftaincy land and ethnic disputes across the country, describing them as a major headache for government.
A lot of our security services are tied down in conflict areas. I mean, Sampa, we have a whole contingent there. You go to Nkwanta, we have a whole contingent there. You go to Boko, we have a whole contingent there. Recently, Savannah, we had a whole contingent that we've not withdrawn them yet. And yet there are so many of these, all over the country. Have to do with ethnic disputes, have to do with land disputes. And it's become a major headache for government. We have the issue of the Sahel. It continues to be a major problem. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And these are our northern neighbors. And so we need to keep an eye on what happens there.
Away from that, Ghana is urging Colombia to broaden cooperation beyond bilateral ties and join efforts to push for a more inclusive and equitable international system that amplifies the voices of developing nations. During bilateral talks with Colombia's Vice President, Francia Elena Marquez Mina, Ghana's Vice President, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman, stressed the need for stronger collaboration. She said deeper partnerships and engagement on multilateral platforms will help both countries advance shared goals and build a fairer global order.
Your Excellency, I wish also to highlight the profound significance of our shared Afro-descendant heritage. This enduring connection provides a strong foundation for joint initiatives in heritage tourism, cultural preservation, and diaspora engagement. These are initiatives that celebrate our shared past while creating meaningful opportunities for social inclusion and economic advancement. Looking ahead, it is equally important that our cooperation extends beyond the bilateral arena. That's very, very important for us. Our two nations share principled commitment to foster a more inclusive and equitable international system, one that amplifies the voices of developing countries, strengthens South-South collaboration, and ensures global governance structures, those that reflect the priorities and aspirations of all of us, regardless where we are, regardless the state of our economies. Through closer collaboration in multilateral platforms, we can advance our shared goals and support the evolution of a more just and representative international system.
Away from that, NPP's 2024 parliamentary candidate for Pandai, Machi Indam, says the Electoral Commission's decision to hold a parliamentary run on December 30 is a calculated attempt to keep him out of parliament. He insists the original election was free of irregularities and argues that the High Court's ruling overturning his victory does not reflect what happened at the polls.
Earlier on the Midday News, Matthew Nyundam questioned how, despite having pending cases at the Supreme Court, Parliament still declared his seat vacant, paving the way for a fresh contest. To him, the timing and sequence of events suggests a pre-arranged plan designed to ensure the seats changes hands before the courts can rule.
When this issue broke up, I think that we've all spoken thinking that the laws of this country will work. But unfortunately, you have a government that is bent of removing Matthew Nyundam from his seat for whatever reason is only known to them. I've gone into an election, a very competitive election. I won my election, and unfortunately, what they are doing to me has never happened to any member of parliament. My colleagues who, for some reasons, people challenge their seats, They were given the opportunity to exhaust the legal means.
Meanwhile, former Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia has expressed disappointment over the Electoral Commission's decision to swiftly schedule a rerun of the Pandai parliamentary election. According to him, Matthew Nyundam has active appeals before both the High Court and Supreme Court, none of which has been resolved.
Matthew Nyundam should be given his day in court. He has filed appeal processes at the High Court. He has filed for a judicial review at the Supreme Court. And none of those cases has been adjudicated. So why the rush? Why the indecent haste? I think that he's being railroaded. I think that this undermines our institutions of democracy.
Residents in the Pandai constituency say they are patiently waiting for December 30th to choose their next MP.
We need development for everyone here. As for the rerun, we will vote. I'm praying and encouraging all residents to choose whoever they prefer so that we avoid any chaos. We are calling for development. As we move toward the elections, we expect the projects we've been hoping for to be provided.
Although this legal challenge is still pending, Matthew Nyundam says he's prepared for the Electoral Commission's 30th December rerun if that becomes the only option.
You're still watching Joy News Prime. We have more after this break. Please stay.
Thanks for staying with us here on Joy News Prime. To other stories now.
Well, for years, the people of Enima survived on a daily trek to a muddy, contaminated river. But after a Joy News report highlighted their struggle, everything changed. Today, new borehole from the United Foundation for Global Development is giving the community portable drinking clean water. Anas Sabit has more.
An age where news stories flicker across our screens and sometimes fade just as quickly. One broadcast did more than just inform. It ignited a chain of empathy that traveled thousands of miles, turning a moment of awareness into a lifeline for a community in desperate need.
I was at Medina, precisely at Asaliboche area, and even the news I heard about the community here and their need of water. It's very scarce. They are struggling and the place is dry and everything.
Ayub Salah Harun, based in the United States, saw the plight of Aminam through the lens of Joy News. As a founding member of the United Foundation for Global Development, he didn't just change the channel, he picked up the phone.
So immediately I took my phone and captured the news because I wanted to, continue with the information and get where is the place, who are those people, what can we do for them.
For generations, this polluted river was both a source of life and a vehicle of disease. Their daily quest for water was a compromise with their health. Some community members shared with Joy News the experiences they went through in their quest for water.
They use poisonous chemicals to spray their farm produce. When it rains, it washes these chemicals into the rivers, into the streams. So the water is not safe for drinking.
That televised moment catalyzed action. Ayub and the United Foundation for Global Development teamed up, mobilizing resources for a sustainable solution to drill deep into the earth of Aminam in search of clean, potable water.
When we saw the news here, we wanted to do the same thing. So now I'm going to present this well to them, and I'm going to ask them to take care of this well. And if we see that they are taking care of this well, we're going to build more wells, inshallah.
For the people of Aminam, the promise of clean water is now on the horizon, a future quite literally being drilled from the depths of despair. Anas Sabit, Joy News.
Away from that, the Public Health Directorate of the Ghana Health Service says it plans to use artificial intelligence to enhance public health care delivery. The Directorate notes that the service has already developed guidelines to help integrate AI and speed up diagnosis as well as treatment. Edna Garima and Osborne Fenuku has more in the following report.
According to the National Library of Medicine on epidemiological transition and the double burden of disease, Ghana's healthcare delivery and surveillance is hindered by fragmented and inconsistent data. During COVID-19, tools like SORMAS improved real-time reporting, but differences across platforms caused gaps and duplication. Despite expanded testing and better diagnostics, limited laboratory capacity and underreporting remain challenges. At the Ghana Field Epidemiology and Laboratory Training Program's GFLET 8th Scientific Conference, Director of Public Health, Dr. Franklin Esiedu-Bekwe, noted that the Ghana Health Service already has guidelines on artificial intelligence and outlined the Health Ministry's plan for a nationwide implementation. Dr. Esiedu-Bekwe also reiterated the urgent need to incorporate artificial intelligence to improve public health care.
Around the world, artificial intelligence or AI is reshaping how we gather, analyze, and interpret data for timely public health action. In Ghana and across the African continent, AI offers new possibilities for improving disease surveillance, enhancing laboratory diagnostics, and supporting faster evidence-based outbreak responses.
The Ghana Field Epidemiology and Laboratory Training Program awards certificates to graduates who complete the program every year. This year, the program graduated the 8th cohort. For Joy News, Edna Garima and Osborne Fenuku's report read to you.
Away from that, persons living with disabilities in the Dafiama Busi Issa district of the Upper West region have received 200,000 Ghana cedis from the Disability Common Fund to support their livelihood. The district chief executive says the gesture reflects government commitment to improving the economic well-being of persons with disabilities. Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
The Disability Common Fund is a social protection program derived from the District Assembly Common Fund designed to empower persons with disabilities by providing financial aid and resources for income generation, education, healthcare, and assistive devices aiming to reduce poverty and promote economic independence. The Dafema Bure Issa District Assembly had over 100 PWDs who applied to the Assembly to enable them involved in some income-generating activities to improve their economic well-being. Out of the over 100 persons that applied for the support, 41 of them were successful. Dafema Bure Issa District Chief Executive James War, shortly before he handed over checks totaling over 200,000 Ghana cedis to the beneficiaries, spoke of the commitment of the government and the Assembly to ensuring that the funds are used judiciously and to their benefits.
Today's package is going to be an enhanced one. When I came, I looked into your records. Some of you will apply and you come for something like 1,000 Ghana cedi, 500 to go and use to do business. In my opinion, that was woefully inadequate.
James War urged the 41 beneficiaries to use the monies for the intended purpose.
Ensure that when we are giving you the money, we give you something substantial so that you can use it to establish yourself.
He warned that it will not be business as usual as they will be monitoring to ensure that the monies are used for the intended purpose. Our Power Secretary of the Ghana Federation of the Disabled, Seydou Kamana Ibrahim, on behalf of colleague beneficiaries, was commending the government and the Dafema Bure Issa District Assembly for coming to their aid, call on the government to use part of the money to create employment opportunities for them.
We thank them for what they are doing, but they should make sure most persons with disabilities are employed. I believe all of us sitting here, if we were all employed, there won't be the need for you to apply for the District Assembly Common Fund.
Reporting for Day News, Rafiq Salam, Issa.
Away from that, Parliament's Gender, Children and Social Protection Committee has inspected meals served in some basic schools in Accra as part of efforts to strengthen monitoring of the school feeding program. Sector Minister Dr. Agnes Namumulate expressed satisfaction with the caterers' performance and outlined plans to improve meal quality and consistency. Mamavi Sefakote reports.
The Gender Minister, Dr. Agnes Namumulate, together with the Gender, Children and Social Welfare Committee of Parliament, visited the Pediasi Methodist School and the Ayimensa Basic School in the Eastern and Greater Accra region to assess the quality of meals served to pupils under the school feeding program. She later told Joy News she was impressed with the standards observed.
Largely, I would say that the quality has improved because of the consistent monitoring. The national is monitoring, the regions are monitoring, the zones, the zonal reps, the district reps and the chefs are coordinating to ensure that what we have promised the people by way of service, quality service, is what is happening. It's been good so far. We are satisfied, largely we are satisfied. There are things we can do to make it better.
The minister also revealed that as part of efforts to strengthen the program, a table manners intervention has been proposed to help improve pupils' eating habits. The initiative, however, is still awaiting parliamentary approval.
There are a few things that we are trying to put into the program, and that is ensure that they get some table manners taught as part of the school feeding program. And so some places, the high enrollment rate makes it difficult, but at least whilst you serve them and they are eating, when you teach them, even when they are sitting in their, let me say, little corner, they will be able to know that, okay, this is what you do when you are at table, this is what you don't do when you are at table. So these are some of the small things that we want to place in it.
Attorney General Dominic Anyeni also interacted with the pupils, assuring them of government support to keep them well nourished throughout their time in school.
The reason why His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has ensured that the school feeding program has not only continued but has been improved is so that you can have healthy bodies and have healthy minds, so you can study to become the attorney generals of the future. You can study to become the gender ministers of this country. You can study to be who you want to become.
The monitoring exercise, according to the ministry, is part of ongoing effort to ensure that pupils in basic schools receive nutritious safe meals as promised under the school feeding program. Mamavi Sefakote's report read to you.
Well, away from that, as Christmas approaches, a member of parliament for Okankwe South, Ernest Adomako, has urged young people to avoid excessive alcohol consumption and hard drugs, warning that such habit could derail their future. The call comes amid growing concerns about youth involvement in substance abuse, which has become a challenge for families and communities during the festive season. There's more in the following report.
Speaking at the 2025 Lights the World Initiative Food Drive, organized by the Missionary Training Center of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in partnership with the Ghana-Colombia Foundation in Accra, Member of Parliament for Okankwe South, Ernest Adomako, expressed concerns that some young people had turned away from Christ and were engaging in alcoholism and the use of hard drugs. The annual initiative aims to promote acts of compassion and provide support to vulnerable people of the community during the festive season. The event also brought together traditional leaders and priests from the Ghanland. In his speech, the Gamanche, King Takite Kutru II, called on chiefs within the Ghan state to unite in the pursuit of peace and community development. The president of the Missionary Training Center of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints said the initiative seeks to inspire communities to show kindness and support to the needy. As the festive season draws nearer, officials hope initiatives like the Light the World Food Drive will support vulnerable communities and encourage the youth to make positive choices for a brighter future.
Kumasi is bracing up for what many predict will be one of the largest emotional gatherings in the city's history, as thousands prepare to bid farewell to a Highlife icon, Charles Kojofosu, popularly known as Daddy Lumba. The anticipation is so intense that the fans of the musician say it will be a festival of grief and celebration. pledging their full support as well as participation in honor of the man whose music became the soundtrack of their lives. There's more in the following report by Clinton Yeboah.
The streets of Kumasi have already begun filling with emotions and billboards as music lovers reminisce Lumba's lyrical influence, his uplifting melodies, and the deeply personal stories embedded in his songs. Fans say his music shaped their youth, healed their heartbreaks, inspired them through difficult moments, and provided soundtracks for their victories. Many have announced plans to storm the Kumasi Sports Stadium dressed in traditional funeral clothes, breezy and kobini, to show their final respect and affection.
Girls Lumba. I love him. Look at how we mourned him during the 1 week observation of his death. I am rocking live to the funeral in full force. We will turn the place upside down.
I've been listening to Lumba since I was a child. His lyrics in the Miyaka Kwentum song is something I identify with. That is why I love him. But amid the enthusiasm, some fans remain unsettled by recent disagreements among factions of the family that resulted in a legal battle. They are calling for calm and unity to preserve the dignity of the funeral celebration.
One funeral, and there's so many issues. I doubt it may even come on Saturday, but if it does, I will be there.
The musician's funeral is slated on Saturday, 13th December 2025. The late musician's father has reinforced the approval, insisting that the burial will take place regardless of any differing opinions. In the video shared on Instagram, Kofi Owusu, the family head of the music icon Daddy Lumba, claimed that the Menhye Palace has given him the go-ahead to hold the musician's final funeral ceremony on the slated day.
Ayo, anope ko Menhye de. We were
not able to meet Otumfo, but we received confirmation and a go-ahead from elders who attended to us at the Menhye Palace. Meanwhile, with the expected record-breaking crowds, the Ashanti Regional Police Command and the family are yet to release a detailed security plan and administrative measures to manage the massive turnout. For Joy News, this is Clinton Yeboah.
Joining us from, we're back with us.
Well, it's showbiz time, and Becky is already here. Becky, what's up?
Hi, how are you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, we're doing well.
Was that fake?
Yeah. No, that was real.
It was?
It was.
Okay, great. I'm on point.
Yeah.
This evening, let's talk about Highlife. I'm very excited. I'm excited because Highlife has made the list UNESCO put out not too long ago. So for those of you out there who don't know what genuine Highlife music is, when you think about Highlife, we're thinking, on the line this song.
That's cool listing thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How useful is that?
It is, because it is not a favor, it's a confirmation that we own it.
Yeah.
They did it for Jamaica.
Yes.
I believe there are so many genres in Jamaica, but they did it for reggae.
Reggae, yeah.
Now, if you are performing reggae music in, let's say, Vanuatu, faraway Vanuatu,
yeah,
and you're on dreadlocks, everybody who sees you is going to assume you're from Jamaica. It gives them a global idea, So I believe we can do the same with Highlife.
Okay.
Nobody is saying people should stop doing any genre they are doing. But if we need one genre to front it to the world stage where everybody will know that when you come from Ghana, this is what you represent, Highlife is the catch key. Now that UNESCO has listed it, they've made it global already. Why are we not going to take advantage of it and just push it? I have said that if we want a lot of people to get into the Highlife zone, who wins what on the night of the VGMA matters. If you're going to make the overall award winning about Highlife, the biggest award on the night, a lot of people are going to jump in.
Okay.
One, every musician in Ghana, dancehall, hip hop, rap, whatever, anytime they decide to touch on Highlife, they do it flawlessly. Chatawale's Highlife song, Stoneboy's Highlife song, even Sack. We decided to make Highlife song. So it means it is in our DNA. That is what we're actually built with. So if we can push it or arrange it such that, you know, it becomes attractive for people to join, I believe it will be our thing because we do it effortlessly.
Tomorrow, for some exclusive stuff. Tomorrow we'll be
it's Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing something very interesting. You don't want to miss it.
Okay.
Right here together with my very amazing brother from another mother.
Well, that's all we have time for. Log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. And Game Session is up next with Prime Business.